Hello, my jellyfitters. My name is Jim, and this is your Daily Brogue for the 10th of August, 2026. Okay, so what would we like to talk about? So I was talking about dungeon design and saying that maybe I should, for the dungeons that I design, make sort of Shadow Dark style outlines rather than Dungeon Crawl Classic style modules, right? So I really do think that if you look at Chalcedon's uh, modules. They're really just sort of outlines of a module. Um, and that might be all people need, right? And I think a lot of people are playing a lot differently than when I was a kid, right? So I think that that might be all anybody needs, right? That's absolutely possible. When I was a kid, nobody used modules, right? We all had a bunch of modules, not the same modules usually, but we all had a bunch of modules. But when we actually got down to brass tacks, we made up our own games, right? We were creative enough to actually sit there and make crap up like people. Um, right? This is not. Uh, I don't really need to. I can wait on flails and banded mail. Um, this is not something that's much particularly difficult, right? This is something that we've been doing all our lives, right? Oops. And it's really the right way to um, design things is by um, using modules as inspiration. And I mean, I'm wandering through Castle White Rock. I may have said this before. Um, I've been, reworking in a way Castle White Rock. So maybe I could play it. Maybe that's what I should do, right? Um, life. All right. Well, let's see what we get. Identify. What shall we identify here? My wife is home. Mm, apply G. Protect armor, not what I wanted. All right, apply J. Shattering. There. That's what I thought it was time for. So I will grab the spear and play with that for a moment. Okay, and so the thing I noticed about, did I put the spear in my hand? Okay. The thing I noticed about Castle White Rock was -1 light. We can survive that. Doesn't make any sense. And so this is, I think, actually pretty common with I think this is a pretty common occurrence with mega dungeons, right? They don't make sense. Um, and so, for example, I had to completely rewrite the first level. Maybe not completely, but I had to change some of it. And Then I had to change stuff about, I had to make some changes in response to things that are happening on the second and third level, right? I had to change some stuff on the third level because was it Chris Coyle or Chris Doyle? Doyle or Coyle, I don't recall. Use a lot of very suspicious um, monsters. You know, again, monsters that themselves don't make any sense. Okay, I guess I searched in both of those. So let's see. K, hallucination, wonderful depth 4. Depth 4 is probably fine. Did I find life already? I already found life, so I will know if I find a life. Will we do the lavender in case it's telepathy? Ah, that's exactly what I need, right? Why do I need telepathy? I probably need. No. Is the jelly coming this way? Okay. Okay. Let's see. So, they're like rock monsters that make no sense and stuff like that. Things that showed up in, I don't know if you're old enough to remember the Fiend Folio, but, the Fiend Folio, the Monster Manual 2, none of those monsters were ever any good. They were, I shouldn't say none of them, but they were mostly, pretty crappy monsters that, didn't make sense. I guess that's the only thing I can say about them, right? Is that as far as monsters are concerned, they were not things you could understand what they were, right? It's just they were fairly crappy. Okay, we will go up. Q, levitation. We will use that to get over here. J, detect magic. Okay, good. And 10 is bad, and so is L. Call L the the story of the Doom Ring. Okay, drop L. See some A. Okay, so we can get rid of one average spirit. The War Axe is also average. Negation charm is blah. Blinking is blah. Protection is blah. So this is a very blah. And I'm still levitating. Okay, well, means I cannot take the express. Still at 13 as well. What the hell is that thing doing? Why did it do it that way? What was it trying to say? And thank you for the eel. But now I'm stuck with the thing. So White Rock didn't make any sense, so I had to modify it, right? Some things to try to piece the levels together. I mean, some of these are really bad, like the only way down to level, the only way down to one level is to find a secret door behind the throne of the leader of like the faction opposing that level, right? So it's incredibly odd. It's a very odd situation. It doesn't again, it doesn't make what I like to call sense, right? Um, and so in this particular case, that's what I'm trying to figure out now. So I'm going to add some other things that have to do with my own weird orc lore, but um, in general, I'm just not getting very far. Now I'm on depth 6. Uh, I am getting very close to the point where I have to commit to something that's just sort of a normal weapon. This area looks way too. So here I still have to do all the mapping. I have to remap things, map them out so that they make a little bit more sense if I want to run it. Even if I even if I want to run it the same way, I need to map it out to make things make a little more sense. Okay. And vampire bats again.